In this video, we are going to master the sidewall in paddle. This is one of the hardest areas of the game, but after this video, you'll have a solid plan and idea of how to return every ball off this sidewall from the returner serve. Let's not waste any time and get into it. All right, so I'm going to be teaching you how to return on the sidewall from that returner serve, or if you just get a really tough ball on this sidewall from the backhand side, because this is the hardest side to deal with. You know, when you return a ball from here, very tricky. We'll move on to the forehand side later. If I teach it this side, if you learn it here, you'll easily be able to replicate it on the forehand side. So we've got to start off with preparation and our positioning as well. So first of all, with the preparation, we need to be really low and compact, bending the knees, and also our racket needs to be prepared low. Okay, let's talk about our main position when we're receiving that serve on the backhand side here. First of all, a lot of players will stand directly in the middle behind this white line because they're thinking the serve might go down the middle or to the glass. I want to be in the middle for both. When really, we need to be actually closer to this sidewall. This is the same if you're just playing someone cross court as well. You want to be slightly closer here. If the ball comes from the middle, because the angle, it will still come towards me, and I only need to do really one step across to meet it. Here, the ball is very likely, first of all, most players are going to serve towards that sidewall, so you want to be a little bit closer to it, but we need to prioritize here over moves to the middle. And then a final preparation tip, this is something that's always stuck in my mind, probably in the first 3 months of me playing paddle, was someone told me forward and low, and this was with dealing with the sidewall on that returner serve. So when you're here and the ball does come in and you get ready, you're gonna go forward and be low into the shot. A very typical thing is people have the racket high and they lean back like this rather than driving in, getting low into the shot. Like most shots in paddle, you need to get low, but you also need to be compact. All right, let's talk about now how to actually deal with that sidewall. What I want you to do on the sidewall is cut it into 2 sections. So split it into 2 sections, straight down the middle on this first panel here. If the ball is heading towards this first section here, that's when you have to let the ball hit. If the ball is gonna hit this back section of the glass, or sometimes it might even hit even further back here, that's when you have to hit the ball before the sidewall. That's your general rule of thumb. First section, let it hit, then you should be able to play it off the sidewall easily. But if the ball comes in this back section, you've got to try and get there before. Okay, so when the ball does hit this first panel of the sidewall, let it hit. We're going to take 1 step back this way, get low, racket low, and then lift low to high. I'm going to try and return the ball completely flat as well. A lot of players adding topspin or slice, just going to make it more difficult. When the ball doesn't hit and it's heading towards this back glass or this back panel here, that's when we need to just block the ball back. It's a little bit tricky, sometimes a bit awkward, but we've got to make sure we don't have a big swing here. That's one of the #1 things, not a big swing, completely flat, push, block the ball flat, and again, get low and low to high. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers this year. So if you hit subscribe, you can help grow this game together with me. So for returning off the sidewall on the forehand side, it's the exact same advice to give you on the backhand. And if you can master it that side, this side should be fairly easy. But exactly the same, you get low, you get compact. When the ball comes off the wall, we lift low to high or just push and play flat, just trying to block the ball. And exactly the same principle in the sense that you're going to be splitting this sidewall. This early part of the sidewall, we take a step back here and play off. This late past the sidewall, we step in and block forward. This shot is one of the hardest areas in paddle, and there is an element that you need to return thousands of balls off the sidewall before it kind of becomes instinctive. This technique will definitely help you, and that rule of splitting the sidewall will definitely help you as well, and you will just get an instinct of whether to play it before or let it hit. All right, before we move on to the next section, I have a tool on my website where you can answer 6 questions and find the perfect paddle racket for your game. Feel free to check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below. All right, the next step we're going to talk about is where should you actually be hitting the ball if you do manage to return it off the sidewall. On the forehand side, the best place for you to return would be down the line straight. Most of the time, players on that left side are going to be right-handed, pretty much 95% of the time, and it'll go straight to their backhand. So you're going to target that backhand. If the player's serving this side, they'll have to run across, you can catch them out, and the backhand is not going to be much of a threat. Very easy return for you to do. The other thing you can do here is obviously play the lob. Sometimes this can be really difficult. If you've got a really tough ball coming into that sidewall, it might just be better just to block it back. But if you've got a little bit of time, a lob is always welcome. And then returning off the sidewall from the backhand side, probably the best place to go is just straight down the middle, splitting in between the opponents. Going down the line is a little bit riskier because you'll get a lot of right-handed players there that will come in and they could attack, they could smash. It's probably best to go straight down the middle, or if you have time, play the lob. If you found this video helpful, make sure to check out my full guide on how to play the perfect paddle serve. I'll leave the link in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.